I already like this episode just by the title alone. Hello, my fellow subscribers. Welcome back to Asha Media TV. And if you're new here, welcome. This is my little channel where I like to watch, react, and review a variety of stuff related to sci-fi, fantasy, and comic books. And my name is Asha. If I didn't say it before, I don't think I did. Yes. So in today's video, I'm going to be watching episode 4 of the 3rd season of Supernatural titled Sin City. But before I press play on this episode, I do need to cover some very basic stuff. So if you're new to my channel, please stick around for a minute. Don't skip ahead. Number 1, just in case you missed it in the title, this is a spoiler-filled reaction. Spoilers ahead, spoilers ahead, spoilers ahead. You've been warned. Number 2, it is possible you've come across older videos on my channel where I was showing video footage of the episode with audio clips and all that. Unfortunately, for very valid legal reasons, I can no longer provide those kinds of picture-in-picture reactions that many of you are used to here on YouTube. Instead, I offer a watch-along experience. So if you want to know how that works, go to the timestamps in the description box and click on the overview of my watch-along process, and there I will explain to you how it all works. But in the meantime, if you do prefer a different or alternate version of my reaction with bonus content and extra perks, I do offer that as well. Details about that is in the description box below. Alright, so now I'm going to get ready to press play on episode 4. Episode 3 was one of the wackiest episodes, and some of you commented there's a couple more, or maybe just one in particular you suspect I might find just as wacky. And yeah, so I guess when that episode comes around, I'll spot it based on whatever happens in it, but I doubt it's likely this one based on the title. Who knows? Supernatural has been surprising me and delighting me lately. So whatever happens, happens, but I'm excited to watch this episode. And so if you're ready to follow along with me, let's go. And if not, well, hopefully I'll see you at the review takeaway portion at the end of this video where you may be able to answer my questions or clarify anything that I say at that point. Either way, I'm ready to press play. So peace out for now. Hello. So I'm going to just quickly explain to you how the watch along process works. At the moment, I'm working on creating a more specific video that will break things down for you if you're completely unfamiliar with the whole watch-along thing. But for now, I'm only going to explain the most common way that I myself watch along with other YouTubers, believe it or not. I'm not the only one doing this. So the first thing I suggest you do is open up a whole new window, internet window, whether it's Chrome or Firefox or whatever browser you're used to, or Safari, what thereof, okay? And open up the episode that I'm going to be watching. Then in a separate window, not separate browser, separate window, you're going to open up this video and you're going to line up at the point where I'm going to count down to play. So you'd have to check the timestamps for that if you want to get to it faster. And then be sure to double check what timestamp I'm starting the episode at, because with Supernatural, it's not always the same. And then once that's clear on your end, then go back to your first window, go into the episode and line yourself up paused at that timestamp. And then what you'll do is then minimize that first window of the episode as small as you're comfortable with on your desktop or on your laptop, okay? And then cover that part, or use that window to cover the part of the screen where you see me looking at my screen. So you'll see the square box that has the title of the episode, and you're going to use the first window to cover over that. And then you'll press play on my video and count down with me until I say play, and then you play at the same time. Now, to help you out, I do offer vocal and visual cues that you'll see there, so you'll know when I'm pressing play, pause, or rewind. And as well, there's a timer and an additional layout, visual layout, to help you out to stay in sync with me as much as possible. Hopefully that way of going about it to follow me will work for you. As I said, that's the way I go about it. However, if you want a more stress-free way to watch me, watch Supernatural, as I said previously, details about that is in the description box below. But if you're ready to follow along, let's go. Yes, I meant to rhyme there. All right. Okay, so I have skipped the recap And I'm at 0050. I'm ready to count down to play. Let's do it. Counting down from 3, 2, 1, play. Now. No, we're going back to church. Well, Sin City, right? I guess they really meant that in a literal sense. Something's coming to get you, nunny nunny. Okay. Oh! Oh, her scream was terrible! I'm sorry, but her scream was more frighteningly bad than what just happened. Okay. So we got people offing themselves. All right. What? Hmm. South Beach. He's trying to figure it out. Bobby. Imagine if Bobby was the father they grew up with. What a different. Well, I guess we'll never know what that would have been like. But it is interesting. Hmm. Man, they both look great in suits. Wow. Not all guys do. I know that. sister? Really? Could have at least said his friend. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make it any better. That's what I want to know. Listen to his ringer. He reminds me of a character from Angel. Reminds me of Doyle. Magic hands! I wanted to show Dean on the bed again with that. I think that's what I saw, right? I'm not going to rewind to find out. But. Sam, the buzzkill. Now this is Sin City. Bringing Satin back. Release the hostages. Oh. Hey, Padre. Oh, I said the same thing. Okay. That's kind of creepy. Mm-mm. Oh, Dean. Uh-oh. Here we go. Stop him. Yeah. Oh, he's not possessed. You better get the hell out of there. Oh, I forgot about him. Well, I guess he's got swagger to be getting these women. Not really. Yeah. Okay. She's obviously she's not. She's bad. She's probably the one possessed. Mm. Yes. There we are. Ooh. Oh. Oh my god. I haven't seen someone die like that since. Well, I guess I can't say it's gonna be a spoiler, but a particular movie that came out this year. Holy shit. Hmm. So she's influencing those guys to kill themselves because maybe they've done something wrong. They're sinful. I don't know. What? There we go. Hope she doesn't hurt Bobby. She's a very helpful demon indeed. Why is that? Yeah, I could believe that. 400 a night? Not 400 a night worth. She must have a kitty of steel. Does she know he's a hunter too? She must know. Is it a whole bar full of demons? You know? And they all have their own role to do stuff. You better hope they don't come back. Ah! Damn, Sam can fight. It looks hilarious how he does it, though. He must have just have a little water gun, I'm telling you. Oh my gosh. Just splurt, splurt. Oh, you're not a demon, sorry. Dean's smart. I wonder if he catches on to her, but he's playing it cool. Hmm. Yep. He is a smart cookie. What? He had time to do that? What is she doing? Okay. So she's really powerful. Whoa. Oh my god, I think you've proved your point, lady. Okay. So this is interesting. I want like learning about the different statuses or power levels somewhat with these demons. If they say anything. Yeah, they gotta learn that by heart. Little hen. Hmm. Probably both at the same time. Okay, I'm assuming she's one of the partner demons. Come on, Sam, you know. Yes! Nah. Money talks, baby, money talks. It's actually good that Sam always has money on him. 400 a night. Please. Like, win what, though? Win just taking over or something? Oh. You give him the wrong address? Oh, that's the actual human girl's life. We're gonna do it right, like remake everything. This priest is wow. I'd be very suspicious of a priest like that. Yes. I've gone through 5 seasons of Lucifer. So are we gonna see a Lucifer in Super... Well, yeah, we must. Or maybe not, because we wouldn't... Oh, poor Dick Cheney. Hang on, I'm gonna pause. All right, so I'm at 2737. My bad. I was babbling a little bit. I do want to go back and listen to her whole spiel about Lucifer. Because I'm like, well, it is supernatural. So if they're tackling demons, I did bring it up in season 1. It wouldn't surprise me we go into with demons and angels. Lucifer, look at that. Okay, that's their... Okay, interesting. So we'll tap into that stuff, I see. All right, so let me just go back. 10 seconds, 20, 30, 40 seconds. I think that should be good. Oh, no, let's go 50. Okay, yeah, 50 seconds. So I'm at 2647. I'm going to count down to play. 3, 2, 1, play. But they haven't even seen him in hell to know he's real? They all know, huh? I knew it! I knew it! Okay, first of all, he was too quick to be like, okay, I'll come help you. Ah, I knew it. It's too sketchy. Too sketchy. Well, you can say thanks. He's scared. She's keeping it in. It's nice to see him relate to a demon. Kind of. Mm. Well, if all the demons know of the Winchesters, I'm assuming that demon priest knows Sam. He's pretending he doesn't. Oh, they said his name. Oh. Hmm. The Boy King. Okay. I think I'm starting to put two and two together. My little pea brain. So with a leader, they can be more organized and they wouldn't be infighting so much. Question is, do you want demons to be organized though? They'd run over humanity. Splurt, splurt. Yeah. Oh! Damn. He's a sophisticated demon. Yeah, I was literally gonna ask that. How did he know? Ruby, Ruby. Oh, wow. How come she didn't do that? Oh no, because she landed in it. Aw, her demon lover. Oh. Back to hell they go. Or do they? Or they're just dead dead? Aw, that's quite romantic, actually. Hmm. Ah, yes. Something may have come back with Sam. Maybe instead of something, because I was thinking like a demon could have come back with him and like he's lying in his subconscious. But maybe just not a whole aspect of his humanity came back with him, right? Because he was fully dead. I've seen other kind of similar stories like that where you raise them up and there's like a missing piece of them, of their soul kind of thing. Yes. Don't. Well, it kind of should. Is she that confident that Sam wouldn't pull the trigger? Or she doesn't care? Hmm. Okay, now he needs an actual angel on the other shoulder. Wherever. All right, interesting. Very interesting episode. Okay, so there's a little trivia here. I think this one's fine to read. I'm paused at 4005. So it says here when Dean and Bobby are crossing the street outside the bar, at the end of the episode, you can see that it is the same street used in Eureka 2006 outside Jack Carter's sheriff's office. Never seen that movie, never heard of it. Or maybe I've heard of it, but I don't know. Don't know the reference, that's okay. Okay, we are done. So, takeaways coming up. This was indeed a very interesting episode because instead of a monster of the week kind of thing, a lot of the focus was the narrative of the demons that escaped the Hellgate, Sam, and a third entity, which I'll talk about shortly, okay? So my takeaways are very streamlined along that narrative. So the first one, of course, is the demon woman. I forgot her name already. Surprise, surprise, eh? But anyways, the one that was talking to Dean the whole time, and she made it clear they were all organized under the boss demon, Y.E.D. Azazel, right? His name was officially now said in the episode. So they were all organized under his command, and apparently he wasn't the nicest boss. But then once he died, they thought that Sam was going to take over as the boy king, but that ended up not being the case. And instead, they're all scattered all over the place, unorganized, fighting for that very throne that should have been Sam's. And I find it interesting that she said that she would have followed Sam had that choice been given. So I'm wondering why, though? Because according to one of the deadly sins in, what episode was that again? I can't remember. But the one I think was episode 2? No, the first one. Episode 1, right? Yeah, Magnificent 7. So, according to Pride, I remember that scene very much because I really like that scene, Sam isn't worth following. So, it makes me a little curious as to why that particular demon would want to follow Sam versus other demons who wouldn't want to follow Sam. You know, is it because of their pride? Or is there more to it that we just don't know yet? Not sure about that. Which easily now leads into my second takeaway, which is along the conversation back to Sam. And when Dean asks Bobby, is it possible that something happened to Sam being resurrected from the dead? And if you were watching my reaction, I always have to say that sometimes because I know some of you skip over to the review takeaway portion. So if you were watching my reaction, I did say out loud that I wouldn't be surprised if it's a very standard case that I've seen in other types of series where, you know, when you die, your soul goes somewhere, and then when you come back, there's part of your soul that goes missing. And I'm assuming maybe that's the case with Sam. Some part of his soul is just kind of flickered out or is just not there. It's not 100%. You know what I mean? Maybe it's at 99%. And that 1% is where his coldness while he's taking life comes from, right? Because according to Dean, as he saw in this episode, he was quite cold and brutal in his killing of the demons right there and then. So something like that, I wouldn't be surprised is the case with Sam. Of course, do not validate that for me. I will see for myself. But that's my theory on where that's going related to Sam Winchester as the possible boy king to be. So it's only fitting, since we've been talking about demons this entire episode, that my last takeaway is the subject matter of the king or god demon himself. Lucifer! I was a bit surprised that they mentioned Lucifer as the god of the demons, and how interesting this is a Lucifer that has not been seen, just like God is not seen for, well, I don't know. They haven't touched on angels yet in that sense. Will there? Well, I'm assuming now there will be angels. There's going to have to be an angel character at some point. We can't be having all these demons and have no angels, but I'll be patient about that. So, when it comes to Lucifer, I am a bit surprised that that's their god that they brought up. I really thought, I don't know, I thought for some reason they wouldn't go to the top of the food chain that quickly or at all. I kind of thought God and Lucifer as the two opposing forces of both realms would be somewhat like just conversation, right? But then again, maybe that's the case, because why would they have Dean say that line? I thought he wasn't real. And then the demon validates that she hasn't seen him himself. So it's almost like Lucifer is a myth. It'd be interesting if all along God and Lucifer are like completely non-existent. It's like one big roller coaster of nothing, of just demons and angels. That'd be quite something. But yeah, I guess I'll see for myself. And because I'm also a fan of the TV show Lucifer, I'm all the more like, ooh, Lucifer? What do you have to say about Lucifer? You know, supernatural style. So it's really going to be interesting to see Supernatural's take on a Lucifer, if we end up getting some kind of Lucifer character in this show, considering the fact this is over a decade ago, And I'm going to obviously be comparing a bit the differences with the Lucifer we have now with the television series. I know it's not the best thing to compare, but I mean in a sense, like in a pop culture sense, right? Because Tom Ellis right now is so popular as the Lucifer character for his TV show series. It would be just interesting as a fan of that series to have some contrasting comparison to kind of play with. Overall, it is going to be quite something to see where it goes with the narrative of the demons and Ruby's place in it. I still feel she needs to kind of spill the beans a little bit as to why she's doing what she's doing. Because she's expecting Sam to trust her, but she's playing on the fact that he's desperate to save Dean. So, yeah. I don't know. Ruby's a question mark for me. And I'm okay with it. I enjoy the performance from Katie Cassidy. It's nice to see her at that time. Gosh, she's so young. Yeah. So, I mean, if anything comes to mind that's more ahead of what I was thinking before, I'm just going to elaborate just a tiny bit that based on this episode, she obviously has something at stake. Like it's like she wants them to win. Maybe you know what? Could it be as simple? Obviously, don't answer me. I'm just saying rhetorically. I wonder if it could be as simple as that she just doesn't think demons should rule Earth. Like, she doesn't care for humans in that sense, but at the same time, she feels like maybe they have a different purpose, and she doesn't want them running about Earth. You know, she's just a non-believer. Right? She's an atheist. Yeah, that's that. So, there you have it, everyone. That is my reaction and my takeaways of episode 4 of the 3rd season of Supernatural. If you enjoyed this video, the best way that you can show me is by supporting this tiny little channel by following those 2 prompts you see there at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, somewhere around here. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. In the meantime, until episode 5, I am now going to tune out. Thank you for watching. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos and subscribe. You know you wanna.